Hi, my name is Roland Allnach, and I'm talking about my book, The Writer's Primer, a practical guide for aspiring authors seeking publication. And as the title suggests, it's for people who would like to get into writing or who have written and are either published or just starting to look for publishing. So the book is really a practical guide to kind of help these kinds of people along and find their place in the publishing world. It's a very wide and difficult landscape to navigate. There's a steep learning curve that people find when they start to publish, and certainly when they start to market. And as someone who's gone through these things over the last 6 years, I thought it'd be nice to share back to other readers and other authors and help them get a start. A lot of the things I relay in the book are things that I've gone through myself. So, as I said, I've been in the publishing world for 6 years with my books. I've done 6 books over that time, so 6 books in 6 years. It's a lot of things to learn and a lot of lessons that came my way. I think the most important lesson that I learned, and probably the toughest lesson for me to learn, and probably every other author who comes out with their first book, is to understand that the built-in sales statistic for a book is in fact zero. And while that's a pretty a difficult number to swallow, I only mention it because it's a very important thing for authors to understand that their book will have one of two fates. Either you will take the effort and persevere in your marketing efforts to get your book noticed by readers and enjoy some success, or you will succumb to marketing woes and your book will not be seen by people. And that would be really tragic after all the effort that's been invested, emotional investment, time investment, perhaps monetary investment, to see a book through to publication. I've seen and read, too many sad stories of authors who have really put so much of themselves into creating a book. And any book is really it's a passion project. It's a creation of love on the part of the author. And to see all that be lost because an author really wasn't mentally equipped to deal with marketing or to embrace the realities of the marketing world, it's a tough thing to see. So that was lesson number one. And lesson number two, a word I often like to use, is perseverance. You have to stick to what you believe in yourself and believe in your writing. It sometimes is difficult to connect with an audience right away, and that's where the perseverance comes in. You have to keep going at it, and experimentation is part of the process. Learn from other authors, if you can, to speak to other authors, see maybe what worked for them, just as importantly, what did not work, and take it forward from there. The book world moves slowly by nature because people have to read the book, but it's an important thing to keep in mind. So if things don't happen right away, you just have to accept that, okay, this is part of the process. Stick to your guns, and keep doing your research, keep trying to learn as much as you can, look for any opportunities that come up, and at the same time try to make opportunities for yourself through contacts, people that you've worked well with. It's a very important part of the process, is to understand that your marketing success isn't going to drop out of the sky in your lap. You have to try to make it happen. So, there's an old marketing wisdom that opportunities don't happen, you make them happen. So you have to look for those things, try to do the best you can with them, and get your name out there, stick with it. All right, well, the question with any book is, why should someone in particular read the book, particularly with a nonfiction book? Where is the expertise coming, and how relevant is to what you're interested in? Well, the obvious thing is, as I said, I've written 6 books in 6 years, so this is the world I've been working in. I also came in from far outside the publishing industry. I don't have an MFA. This was something that I love to do. I feel compelled to write. And at a certain point in my life, I decided, it's enough thinking about it and dreaming about it. It's time to do it. And from that source is where a lot of the book comes from. And I think it's important to note it and mention it because I think so many people, certainly a lot of the authors I've run into, have come from ordinary walks of life that are not vested in universities or creative programs. Their writing is something they've always dreamed about doing. It's something they felt compelled to do. They went ahead and did it. And what's next? So the summary of that is everything in the book I wrote from a very common sense, practical point of view. Probably 90% or more of published authors cannot support themselves with their writing, so they have to work their job. They have a family, they have other obligations, so time is critical. It's a critical factor in everything an author does. So a lot of the perspectives I take through the book is talking about time management and what you can realistically do in that time. There's only so much time in a day, and you have to try to make the most of it. So it's not just planning your time, it's also time discipline. And to remember that this is supposed to be something that's enjoyable for you. So don't necessarily plan your time to the minute that you have to do this, you have to do that. If you're not in a particular mood to do something one day, do something else that forwards your writing. It's always moving in a direction forward. So whether you're writing or you're marketing or you're researching, keep in mind that this is all to move your pace forward. So on that nature, I divided the book into 5 parts. So the first part is to introduce people to what it's going to be like as a writer. As I mentioned, the time discipline, different things you can do to try to adjust to a writing life. The second part of the book is basic writing mechanics, working with grammar, points of view, editorial concerns. The third part is short story publication, which is how I got my start, so something I know pretty well. The fourth part is book publication, not just in getting a book published, but your different options with publishers, because that is a big question for authors. And the fifth and final part is the marketing. So, and again, all very common sense, practical, affordable things that you can do, things that I have done and enjoyed. So it's all there. I tried to lay it all out. I wrote it from the context of someone coming in, as I did, who knew nothing and just wanted to be part of the publishing world. And go forward.